My name is Hardeep, and this is my sign name. I'm from Delhi, West Delhi actually. I'm involved in many things, but most involved with art. I take photos and make video content, which I shoot and edit myself and then create social media campaigns. I support NGOs needing artwork and help their outreach. I create awareness related artwork for organizations advocating in the deaf sector, trying to portray discrimination and inequalities through my art. I also interpret music into ISL. I have always loved music and I enjoy doing signed translations. So I dabble around, but I would like to call myself a multimedia designer and artist. I'm really connected to art. It is my safe place and best friend. Art helps me reflect and communicate. It is like my alter ego. It listens to my reflections and interacts with my thoughts. It is a very crucial part of me. I just always want to have art in my life. This one here is my favorite. To be honest, growing up, I understood nothing in school. I barely knew the meanings of the words I learned. The focus was always on speech therapy. I simply copied the text, nodded, and pretended to understand. We were taught the Hindi alphabet just like English A to Z. I learnt the letters, the words, but never the meaning, no matter how hard I tried. I couldn't grasp how Hindi and English worked. Visual subjects like mathematics were easy to understand. The teachers used gestures, so I managed that easily. My father also took interest in teaching me maths. Learning language was the challenge. Compared to the hearing school where I was, students in the deaf school seemed to be better in ISL as well as English. I started mingling with them. I asked them about the signs, especially the greetings, etc. They knew the meanings and the spellings. They made mistakes, but students at deaf schools were way better in terms of language and vocabulary. They gave me sign language, and with it, my mind just clicked. Without ISL, my mind was like a wall deflecting everything, delaying my learning. I was a big source of concern for my parents. They did not anticipate a deaf child, they were hoping for a hearing child. I was born hearing, but within a year I became deaf. My parents were in turmoil. They were frantically searching for solutions to undo my deafness. It was, in fact, the lack of access and quality education for the deaf that fueled this behavior. Everyone assumes that hearing people are better. My parents are deaf like me. Despite that, they discouraged sign language. My parents could speak a bit. They enforced the same on me. I was expected to use speech. It was a difficult time. I found it hard to connect. Gradually, they realized something was missing. I was not able to grow up as a person. When I joined the deaf school, everybody was signing. I picked up the language in no time. My parents finally stopped enforcing speech and decided to accept and use sign language. So, yeah, I've been signing ever since. My parents were part of a larger deaf community and they met regularly on weekends. I was amazed to see so many live performances when I went along with them. Mime, comedy, riddles, as well as drama by deaf artists. With the rise in technology, a lot of video recorded content was being created. The in person gatherings slowly reduced as people started viewing this content online. This peaked during the COVID pandemic. Something similar happened with our ISL number story. We used 1 to 10 handshapes to create a story. For instance, 1 warning, 2 look, 3 eating with a fork, 4 people passing by. We created one and posted with the hashtag ISL number story. The post went viral. I was amazed to see a sea of number stories. It stimulated creativity and interest in ISL. With COVID now on the decline, the get togethers and community programs are back. At the hearing school, the kids made fun of me. They insulted me and mocked sign language. It was tough. There was no safe place to express myself without fear or being shamed. I was the only deaf kid in the multitudes of hearing students, so obviously I was forced to adapt to that system. I kept blabbering the words and followed their norms. They didn't try to match my needs. There were misunderstandings, and sometimes the hearing students would blame me for the mischief. The teacher would scold, slap, even whip my hands. I had no clue why this was happening to me. I assumed that it was punishment for my poor writing skills, but that was not the case. There was no connection or communication. That was the real barrier between us. Do you want a delicious cup of coffee? Look no further because Subco Coffee here in Bandra, Mumbai is serving you the best coffee you can get. I really appreciate them for allowing us to film here at the outlet. In reality, I am not the only one. Millions of deaf people in India face multiple barriers every day. I went through intergenerational discrimination. My parents carried forward the oppression they had faced and bled it onto me. I didn't realize it until I was older that I had so much bottled up inside. And the key to opening the bottle was language, which I did not possess. I struggled to find an outlet and kept all of this inside. It really clouded my thoughts until I found my language. Sign language was the key that unlocked the doors and out flew all these emotions like bats, still and sleeping on trees in the morning, but fluttering the sky at night. It just unlocked my emotions. All those bottled up feelings took flight. I ponder around a lot actually, experimenting with the form and structure of my language. I really enjoy analyzing multiple perspectives and manipulating its visual aspects. I express myself freely in sign language. The visual nature of it means I have no limit, both in terms of form and space. I feel restricted with written forms like English. I can't help it. I see a word but visualize it in sign language. For me, the word blooms in shapes and forms through the language of hands. It is my language. I see the alphabet but understand why I sign. I'm definitely a signer by choice. It is so very important to sincerely, I beg and fold my hands when I say, please introduce sign language. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for the lives of deaf people. Without it, life becomes a daily hurdle. Having sign language in my life enables me to appreciate food, work, people, and just connect with everything. Yes, with sign language, you can. I look at myself and all this progress I have made, this film we are making right now, it's all based in language, sign language. If there was no language, why would we even be here? We'd be sitting at home like a vegetable. I really feel that all schools must introduce and provide sign language as subject besides the usual spoken languages. Sign languages is more priceless than gold.